Hey everyone, in this video we're going to take a look at chapter 26, or part 26 rather, of Ritchie's Fabulae Faciles and the Hercules story. So you might remember up until this point, Hercules has made it through 9 of his labors, and the last one he did was getting the belt of Hippolyta, right, and fighting the Amazons. Now, in the last chapter, we saw that on his way back, he had stopped at the famous city of Troy, and what's happening in Troy is that you have this king, Laomedon, who had offended the gods, and so a sea monster has basically been eating his people. And the oracle told him that the only way out of this is if he sacrifices his daughter, right? So that's where we're going to pick it up in this video, go through the story, work on the translation, just make sure that we're pretty good. Before you dive in, like I always tell you in these videos, the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have the vocab under control. So if you want, look up a commentary, anything, or make your own vocab list. Just make sure that you know what the words are and you have a list of them. It's very difficult to read this story and understand Latin if you just don't know what the words mean. So you always want to start there. The second thing I'd recommend is doing what we call the read and reread method. And you've heard me say this in almost all my videos. So you want to start by reading the story, right? If you can find a partner in class to read it aloud to, have them read it back to you, that's a really good start. But when you dive into translating, you want to read it and write down anywhere or any words that you don't understand. So whether it's vocab, grammar, sentences, whatever, keep a list. And that way, when you're done reading it all the way through and noting any areas that are problems for you, you look these up, right? So you go back, you say, what does this word mean? Or what type of grammar is this? And again, a commentary would help you, or just kind of looking them up and trying to think like, what am I looking at here? Asking your teacher, whatever. Then when you fill in those gaps, you go back, you read the story again, a second, a third, a fourth time, however many times you need. And the goal should always be that you read this without having to look up any of the words in a dictionary or living in a grammar help or a commentary. If you can hit that point, then you know that you've got it under control and you can feel really confident about your ability to read this Latin. And again, you're not really translating in your head, or I don't think you should be translating in your head. You want to be reading it aloud, right? Bring it to life. It is a language. You don't want to shut off sort of the speaking and listening parts of your brain either, but you're trying to be able to do it without any help. So once you hit that point, you can watch this video. And again, as long as your translation is pretty close, it doesn't have to be perfect, but along the same lines as mine, you can feel pretty good that you've got it and you know that's making sense to you. So let's start up. You have Laomedon, cum hoc responsum renuntiatum esset, magnum dolorem percepit. So Laomedon, meaning the king. So you have when this response, hoc responsum, had been reported, right? Nuntiatum esset, you have the subjunctive there. It's pluperfect subjunctive. So basically when he heard this response is what it's saying. But when this response had been reported, meaning the response from the oracle that he's supposed to kill his daughter. Percepit, he felt, or he perceived, he felt, magnum dolorem, great sadness. So he's really sad that he has to, sacrifice his daughter. Then you have sed tamen, ut cive suos tanto pericula liberare, oraculo parere constituit, et diem sacrificio dixit. So, but, however, or nevertheless, you might say, tamen, then you have this ut clause here. It's a purpose clause. So it's explaining why he's doing this. So you can translate it as so that liberare, he might save or free his citizens, cive suos, there's a direct object, from such danger. Periculo tanto, or tanto periculo rather, is ablative. So he wants to free them from such a danger, meaning the sea monster. So what did he do? He constituit, he decided, parere oraculo. Parere here means to obey, right? So he decided to obey the oracle. Obey takes a dative. That's why you're seeing oraculo. So he decided to actually do it. He obeys the oracle and he's going to sacrifice his daughter, right? Hesione. And not only that, he dixit diem. It literally says something like he said the day, but it's more idiomatic. It means he set the day is really what it means. He set the day for the sacrifice. So he declared what day he was going to sacrifice his daughter. Then you have sed sive casu, sive concilio deorum Hercules tempore opportunissimo Troiam attige. So, and now you have sive. These correlatives mean something like whether or, right? It's kind of one way to translate it. So you could say whether by chance, casu, or by the plans, the concilio, the plan of the gods. So meaning like divine will, right? The plan of the gods. Hercules, he attiget Troiam. He reached Troy, you could say, tempore opportunissimo. You have the superlative here, at the most opportune time, right? So whether it was just complete luck or chance or, the divine will, Hercules shows up right on that day when, Hesione is supposed to be sacrificed to the sea monster. Then it continues. You have ipso enim temporis puncto quo puella catenis vincta ad litus deducebator ille navem apule. So for, now ipso puncto means like at that point is kind of one way to do it. Temporis means of time. So you're saying like at that very point of time, that moment of time, at which, quo, the puella, the girl, wincta here is a participle, a perfect passive participle. So you could say having been bound, katenis, by chains or with chains. So she's tied up. At that very kind of point in time, deduce bator, she was being led to the shore, right? So the girl was being led. It's a passive verb, right? So she was being led to the shore at that very moment. Ille, now this means he, so it's talking about Hercules, right? Hercules, apulet nawam, he landed his ship, you could say, apulet, right? He landed his ship. So the idea is he's reaching the shore to land his ship right at the moment she's being led down. So he's obviously going to see her and say, what's happening here? So you have Hercules, e navi egressos de rebus quae gerebantur certio factus est. So you have Hercules, egressus. So you could almost say like having departed, egressed, right? Is kind of one word for it. So having departed from the boat, e navi. He factus est. This you would translate as he was made certior. Literally, it means like more certain, maybe even more aware is kind of one way to do it, more informed. It means he got kind of told something. So literally, you're saying having departed from the boat, he was made more certain about the rebus, the things which, qua, you have a relative pronoun here, which gerebantur, were being carried out. So that phrase, the things which were being carried out, is talking about Hesione being brought to the shore, right? Laomedon about to sacrifice his daughter. So Hercules, when he steps off, he's made more certain of what's going on. In other words, someone says, hey, yeah, they're sacrificing the princess here. Then you have tum ira commotus ad regem se contulit et auxilium suum obtulit. So then, moved by anger, meaning Hercules is mad at this. He's like, this has to be a joke, right? What are we doing? So commotus ira, moved by anger, he contulit ad regem se, right? So he carried himself, se contulit, ad regem, to the king, right? So carried himself, it means he brought himself to the king. And he obtulit auxilium suum rather. So obtulit is he offered, right? So he offered his own help or his help. So Hercules goes right to the king and he offers to help because he's so annoyed that they're doing this to his daughter, meaning the king's daughter, right? Then you have cum rex libenter e concessit ut si posset puellam liberaret Hercules monstrum interfecit. So you have when the king, right, cum rex, when the king gladly, concessit is subjunctive here. You could say he had yielded, right? Pluperfect tense, when he had yielded to him, meaning to Hercules, so that si posset, if he might be able, you would say, again, it's a imperfect subjunctive here. So if he might be able, if he was able, he sort of yielded to Hercules so that liberaret, he might free puellam, the girl. So the idea here is the king concedes to Hercules so that Hercules might be able to free the girl. And there's a side note of si posset, if he's able, right? If he might be able, go free my daughter. Then when this all happened, Hercules interfecit monstrum, Hercules killed the monster. Okay, so it almost means like after the king concedes and says, hey, if you're able to, please free my daughter, then Hercules goes out and interfecit monstrum, he kills the sea monster, right? Which is what he always does. So he's taking down another monster. This one, not one of his labors, but still something he feels he has to do. Okay. Then you have et puellam, qua iam omnem spem salutis de possuerat, in columem ad patrem reduxit. So, and we have a direct object here, the girl. So you want to go all the way to the end to reduxit. He led back the girl, and then you have the relative clause here. Who, qua, it's talking about the girl, who now de possuerat had put aside, is kind of one way to translate that, had put aside all hope, omnem spem, of safety, right? Salutis. So it's saying the girl, the daughter, at this point, she had already figured I'm gonna die, right? She had literally put aside all hope of safety. But then Hercules shows up and rescues her, right? So he led back the girl in columem, safe and sound, right? Safely, you might say, ad patrem, to her father, right? So he brings Hesione back to Laomedon. Okay. Then we have the end with this. You have Laomedon, magno cum gaudio, filiam suam accepit, et Hercule pro tanto beneficio meritam gratiam retulit. So Laomedon, meaning the king, he accepted, he welcomed, you might say, his daughter, Filiam Suam, right? He welcomed or accepted his daughter. Magno cum gaudio means like with great joy, right? So he's very happy to see his daughter again because he thought he had just, sent her to her death. And he retulit Hercules, so he gave back to Hercules, you might say, meritam gratiam, deserved thanks or just thanks, pro tanto beneficio, for such kindness. So the king thanks Hercules and says, thank you for saving my daughter, basically. So that's the chapter here. There's more to the story that we're going to continue on in the next few parts, but hopefully this made some sense. Again, the further you go in the Hercules story, the more you're going to see subjunctives, a little bit more complicated sentence structure. But the good news is the vocab keeps repeating in Ritchie's, right? So a lot of these words are actually the same phrases and words, such as this last one of giving thanks for such kindness. These are things we saw in the Perseus story too, right? So if you've been doing Perseus and following up with Hercules, the vocab in Ritchie's repeats a lot, which makes it a little easier to understand. If you have any questions at all on the translation or anything you want help with, just put it in the comments below. But otherwise, like I said, try to do as much reading as you possibly can of the story and keep reading it until it makes sense. And like I said before, you're able to do it without needing a dictionary or looking things up all the time. That's how you know you're in a really good place. Good luck.